Hello, good evening, welcome to Dave's Tacklebox. It's Sunday the 23rd of September 2012. And what a weekend it's been as usual. No vape meets, certainly no flying to vape meets and things this weekend. I've just realised I haven't got my glasses on. I'm looking vaguely in the direction of the camera, but I can't actually see it. Tonight is a busy show. We've got quite a bit to get through tonight. So just to give you a rough idea, we're going to be joined by Dugie in a little while, who has been playing with Mesh Wicks. Yes, Mesh Wicks. I should imagine a lot of people watching have been playing with Mesh Wicks lately, but we get to see Dougie's experience and we're going to be having a little chat about that. I've started this little idea on vape meets as well, so I've got kind of it's almost a roll call really of different meets that are coming up in the near future. So it's just, you know, so I think I've got 4 on the list tonight. So we're going to have a little look at those, and there's some details of how to get in touch with people. Also tonight, let me just reach over here and knock stuff over. This thing, remember this? I reviewed this a few weeks ago. This is the Bosk wooden mod, which was being sold by Brit Vapes, but it was quite popular and went out of stock quite quickly, I believe. I did a review on YouTube, which you can check out later. It's an 18650, very simple but rather nice wooden mod. And the fact is, it's surplus to my requirements, and therefore I'm going to give it away. So when Dougie's on in a little while, we're going to pose you a question, and before the end of the show we're going to ask you to email the answer to the question, and some lucky viewer tonight on Sunday the 23rd of September is going to win this Bosk mod, if you want it, of course. On the subject of wanting mods, you may recall that Mark Jones and Gary Dibley set up an auction. You need to go to forum.vaportrails.tv. They're auctioning off some mods, and I gather the pot's just got a bit bigger, and I believe the proceeds are going to children in need, so it's a charity auction. Unfortunately I haven't got the page in front of me because I'm stupid. And but I do know from memory that there are 2 mods that the guys have made, and I believe also there's a Buzz Pro variable voltage mod gone into the pot as well, and the auction price at the moment is worth having. So after the show you've got until 9:15 tomorrow night. That's when they're going to close the bidding, and the winner will be announced by Gary on Tin Your Tip tomorrow night live on Vapor Trails TV. So we've got that, we've got my Bosk giveaway. What more could you possibly need? What else have I got? I've been playing with power tools again. Yeah. Like on an industrial scale this time, actually. You know, I actually went to the garage, belt sanders, pillar drills, well, belt sander and pillar drill, not plural, but you get the picture. I've been doing stuff, making stuff, but so that's coming up very shortly. That's coming up very shortly. But before we get into that stuff, I just want to tell you an amusing story. It'll amuse you. But let's have a little sting, and then I'll tell you my amusing story. This thing that I'm toking on here is an NGP Genesis hybrid mod, which basically means it's a Genesis atomizer and a mod all in one. It's an 18650. I picked it up at Vape Fest Ireland a week ago, and I've hardly put it down. See, 18650, really, really good mod, and it is unlike any other mod that I've got for one simple reason: it has a touch sensitive switch. You won't see it on this camera, but I will be giving some detail on this and showing it a bit close up in a future episode, I'm sure of that. But basically, to fire this thing, all you have to do is complete the circuit. I know Dave Dawn also picked one of these up, and he had the one with the ring as well, and it's the same principle he was showing on the Haze Hour the other night. But the reason I'm telling you about this now is just to demonstrate. You might just see the little blue light comes on inside. The green screen really doesn't help with that. But you touch it like that, and it works. Well, last night I took it to bed with me and I fell asleep and I had a beer or two, let's just say that, and it was on my chest like that, and that does cause it to fire. Now, it didn't get that hot and burn me for a while. Put it this way, by the time it woke me up with the burning, the plastic drip tip melted and snapped and is now in 3 pieces. I got the top bit, the O-ring, and the bit that sort of melted, so it got so brittle it snapped off. And I learned that it's not actually, you can't just stick any old 510 drip tip in there. So I've had to get like the mouthpiece out of the VV Nova tank, I think it was, and whittle it down to fit in there. But it's good now, look, I mean, it's good and solid now. So the moral of the story there is, if you're using a touch sensitive switch, don't fall asleep using it. Anyway, power tools. Let's start with power tools. Here's a VT. See what you think about this. Hi, it's Dave. Right, you catch me here a little bit mucky, covered in sawdust, and I'm going to explain why. I was sat here yesterday, and in fact the day before yesterday, trying to tidy up my desk a bit, and the fact is, and I'm sure a lot of people who vape can relate to this, my desk was covered in vaping paraphernalia. It struck me that I needed a way to organise things like tanks and drip tips and ego type atomizer connectors and stuff, because they're just lying everywhere, leaking juice all over the desk. It was a health hazard, frankly. I got to thinking, I'm not a carpenter by any stretch of the imagination, but it can't be hard to make some kind of stand to put all this stuff in. So I had a look at a tank that was lying around nearby and realised that actually all of these tanks, including things like the Penelope, and it doesn't matter on the tank design, they've all basically got this little 510 thread sticking out at the bottom. So I decided I'm going to do a little project. So I went and bought myself a piece of pine, which is all I could get. It was all that was open on a Sunday morning, a little local hardware shop. I found a large piece of pine and bought a few drill bits, because all mine are blunt. I thought, let's see what we can make, and this is what happened. there you go. There's my little vaping stand. I think it looks okay. I used Bry Wax to finish it, but I'll run you through everything I used in case you're thinking of having a go at it. It's a bit like Blue Peter, this, isn't it? Here's one I made earlier. I had a few problems getting the right size drill bits to match exactly what I wanted, so it's not perfect, but it's perfectly functional. The Bry Wax has done a lovely job. It's sealed, so if I spill juice on there, it'll just wipe off. A couple of things I need to be careful of. I need to make sure I get all the Bry Wax out of the holes properly, because the drip tips, they fit very snugly, and I'm not sure what inhaling Bry Wax might do to me. So for a little, until I've cleaned that up, I'm going to be very careful that I remove all of that from the bottom of any drip tips. But just to run you through what I used, I got a piece of wood. It appears to be about 1.25 inches thick. I thought that's plenty. There's plenty of weight in it. I simply then used, let's get this right, I think I used a 6mm drill for the 510 threads, so for the tanks and what have you. I used a 9mm drill for the drip tips, and they fit perfectly. The 6mm that I used for the tanks and the 510 threads to sit in, they're a little bit wobbly, you know, but a little bit looser than I would have liked. I mean, they're fine for a desk stand, but if I tipped this thing too far, then the top heavy ones will fall out. And then I used a 16mm masonry drill bit, because it's all I could find of that size, for the Ego type fittings. And if I just point the camera, you'll see that you can even get an Ego battery in there, but like I say, it's a bit wobbly. But the drip tips fit perfectly. I mean, you have to actually push them in, the O-rings hold them in place. The 510 fittings with this, that one's not too bad. They obviously they vary a bit, but it does the job. I can just shove that at the back of my desk, which is underneath the windowsill, and it'll help me organise things a bit better. In terms of ease to do, it was a doddle. It helps the fact that I had a pillar drill and a belt sander to finish the edges and what have you, and give it a nice rounded edge. But you know, yeah, a pillar drill's probably a necessity, but it was pretty simple to do. It probably took me longer to edit this video than it did to make it. If I had a bit more time, I would perhaps counter some of the holes a little bit better. But now I've established the principle, I'm thinking I might make one for me batteries next. Anyway, I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching. My grandkids will see that on Antiques Roadshow. Ad break.
Cloud9 Vaping, sponsors of Dave's Tacklebox.
Good evening. Taking a while to get things lined up and ready to go. But I'm here now, so welcome to the Tacklebox.
So there we go, I'm back in the room and not long to go now. So yeah, I was talking to my son and he's watched me make things before.
The Trans TV tell us tonight being Wednesday night, it is time for the one and only chat show programme called PT Talk. Tuesday Here's Hour. Again, Keith was just saying if it wasn't for the titles, he wouldn't come and do the show. He loves them so much, doesn't he?
Cloud9 Vaping, sponsors of Dave's Tacklebox.
Hi, Doug. How you doing, mate?
Good evening, Dave. Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm alright. So, you like my little plank with holes in it then?
I do. When you're sending it,
It's yours for 50 quid, mate.
I'll give you £5. I'll pay the postage.
I'm tempted. Right, okay, we've got a lot to get through tonight. In a short while, you're going to... you've done a little VT, haven't you? What you've sent me.
I have.
Which is about putting a mesh wick into a dripping rebuildable atomizer that was designed for silica or fiberglass wick, wasn't it?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have a look at that momentarily, but this is where, if you want to win this Bosk mod, which I've still got, here it is, look, in one piece, intact. I didn't do the damage on the bottom. No, joking. If you want to win this, you've got to watch this VT, and you're going to have to stick with it, okay? So, during this VT, there is going to be a reference to another member of the Vapor Trails TV team. Have you got that? So, particularly, we're looking for the name of the person that sent the mesh wick to Dugie. Okay? So if you watch the VT, you will know the answer by the end. At the end of the VT, I'll give you an email address that you can send it to, with details of how we're going to select the winner. But somebody's going to win this tonight. Okay, so Dougie, shall we show him the VT?
Let's do it.
We've done the build-up.
You did the build-up.
Roll VT.
Right, so here we have the bits that I need. A little bit of already oxidised mesh, some wire, I can't remember exactly what, I think it's 0.2 camphil, one or the other. I'm not really too clued up on what they are. I mean, I didn't order these, I got both sent from Mark MG Johns from the Vapor Trails team. So thanks again for those, Mark. Right, so obviously, you know, we're here to change the wick and coil from a silica wick and coil to a mesh wick and coil. So the first thing I need to do, if you can hear any bleeping, I do apologise, that's all my emails coming in on the devices. So obviously the first thing I need to do is unscrew the little heads and then take out the old wick, which is very easily done. I'll just get another tissue because I'll need one as I'm going to keep this nice and clean as I'm going along. basically the idea is to sit the mesh in between these two posts, which when I was explained how to do this seemed fairly easy, but this is the first time I'm going to do this. So let's see how it goes. So first of all, I like coils that are anything from 1.7 to 2 ohms, and I'm guessing what I'm going to need is about 4 wraps for this. So I mean, I can cut this down. I've got about 1.5 centimetres of the mesh wick at the moment, but I can cut that down if it's too long once it's in place. So I'm just going to measure up and guess where it's going to go. Right, I'll get my wick and start to coil it. Like I said, this is all pre-oxidized, so I'm lucky I don't have to do any major preparation for it. Okay, so there is the coils. I mean, it should look neater when it's in there, and I can adjust it as well. Okay, now the tricky bit is getting this actually centered in. Right, because I've been told one of them will have to go, instead of going through the actual hole, it will need to go underneath the head of the screw and the screw fully tightened down. So the bottom lowest part, if you can see it, will be going pardon me, will be going through the hole on this side. So I'll just get that in. Come on, in you go. And sit that in. And I'll screw that down. So if I line this up now, so it will be like so, I need to wrap this piece here around this head and screw the head down instead of going through the hole. So I'll give this a go. Like I say, this is the first time I've done this, so it could be rather interesting. There goes another email. And another email. Popular tonight. This is a little bit fiddly. Seems rather loose to me. Okay, let's try that. Then these spare bits, you can just, well, you're meant to just be able to waggle them, and then they break away. These bits here, there you go. Right, and as you can see, I've got quite a bit of spare wick sticking up, so I'm just going to snip that off with a pair of scissors. It's just gone flying across the room, and I'm left with something like that. That's 4 coils. So the lowest coil has actually been put through the hole and tightened up, and the top coil has actually been wrapped around the screw head, which has pinched it down. Because if you was trying to put that through the bottom hole, no chance. Okay, so let's stick this on the Preveri. Get a little bit of juice. And we can check if it fires. Well. See if, I believe you've got to look for hot spots with these. Oh, I've got an E8 error. And now an E1, whatever that is. I think that's telling me there's a short. Just check my coils aren't touching and try again, because it worked straight away. Weird. Now it's working again. Right, so let's check the ohms while it's working. What's that saying? 2.1? 1.6. Okay, well, we're working again. Put a few drops in. On with the drip tip. Let's just see how it vapes. Rather well. So there you go, just a quick video showing how you can change the big dripper from a silica wick setup to a mesh wick setup. Bear in mind, like I say on the video, that was the first time I'd done that. I have to thank Mark Jones from the team on sending me some pre-oxidised mesh and explaining how I should do it. I think it went quite well, and it was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. If you have one of these type of devices, if not this one, say something like the Phoenix or the VH dripper, they're all very similar. Well, near enough exactly the same. It's the same process for those, and I'm sure a few others that I don't know of that's on the market as well. I said in the video, you know, I like anything from around 1.5 to 1.8, I believe. And the reason for that is so I can use it on my little Touchwood Mini, which is a standard 3.7 volt device. And in that ohm range of a coil, it's usable. Anything higher than a 1.8, I feel you need to start using a variable voltage device and get it up to at least 4 volts when you get into 1.8. And obviously I'm interested to see how the flavour, throat tip and the vapour, you know, the whole experience with the mesh compared to the silica wick. Now, I've only just recorded that video about an hour ago, and I'm going to be using this now. I'm going to have a few more days on this before it comes to the show. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue using it, and I will give you, you know, a live update in the studio. Just a couple of things I do want to mention though is about hotspots. If you check it and you get a hotspot, it could be a case of the coils are touching, they're too close. Just space them out. You saw with me on the video, I nudged them around a bit with the screwdriver, just because I saw one trying to glow a bit. So that can be one cause. Also, if your mesh isn't fully oxidised, it can create a hotspot as well that way. So just again, just nudge it away from that part of the mesh and check it, and it usually sorts itself out. So that's it really. Like I say, I'm going to continue using this now for the next few days, and I'll give you a live update in the studio. Thanks so much for watching.
There you go. Oops, apologies for that. Wrong button. Right, yes, okay, so as you said, if you can do it, anyone can do it. That's what you said.
That's right. I mean, I'm terrible when it comes to making anything myself. I usually do buy ready to go stuff. But yeah, it's a lot easier than I thought. I mean, I can give you the bit of the update because now I've been using it for that few days.
Before you do, and I'm really sorry to be rude, but before you do, we need to take a break. But first, we just got to remind everybody. Hang on, I've just got a little bit of. Just going to put an email address up on the screen temporarily. The question was, who sent Dugie the mesh wick? Wasn't it? That's what we said, wasn't it? Indeed, yes. Okay. So what you need to do, and you've got probably something like 10 minutes to do it, you need to email the answer to that question, and you can email it as many times as you like, really, to this address that's about to come up on the screen. Who sent Dugie the mesh wick? Email your answers to bosq, B-O-S-Q, at vaportrails.tv. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to talk about mesh wicks. So we'll be back right after this.
Cloud9 Vaping, sponsors of Dave's Tacklebox.
The GG, because you want one.
iVapor and iVapor Elixir, based in Yorkshire, for your e-cig needs. That's ivapor.co.uk and ivapor-elixir.co.uk. iVapor and ivapor-elixir.co.uk, proud sponsors of vaportrails.tv.
If you can't watch our shows live, try some of these. Go to YouTube at youtube.com/user/VaporTrailsTV and you can subscribe there. All of our shows are uploaded as soon as possible after they've gone out live. Enjoy watching it on YouTube. Lots of people do. Alternatively, go to Google and type in podcast vaportrails.tv and iTunes. Click on the link and that will take you to a page that shows you the Vapor Trails TV podcast. View it in iTunes, and when you get to iTunes, don't forget to click on subscribe free, and each of the shows will be downloaded to your hard drive as soon as they come out. Or you can use video on demand. Go to www.vaportrails.tv, click on vPlayer, pick the show you want to watch, in this case it's the Haze Hour, and then you can pick the episode that you want to watch from every one that we've ever done. They're all there. Under normal circumstances you'll watch it at 360p, which means everybody can see it. It'll go full screen, you can do whatever you want with it. So there you go, 3 ways that you can watch vaportrails.tv. Subscribe and enjoy. Thanks.
Cloud9 Vaping, sponsors of Dave's Tacklebox.
And we're back in the room. Hello again, Doug. It's like you've never
Hello.
been away. Okay, so the entries are now flooding in. Quite a few in there now. I must admit, it took a minute before the first one arrived, and I was thinking, oh, have I got it set up right? But I can see them. I can see them arriving. Actually, I can do clever here. And just flick over to this shot. Right, but I can see them. I can see them arriving. You can see that the entries are coming in there. Clever here. So you can have as many goes as you like. Click over to as many goes as you like. We'll give them. What time is it now? No, we'll give them 5 minutes. Anyway, Dougie. So
Yes.
you put this mesh wick into your big dripper, as we just saw. Okay, so the first question you have to ask is, how many coils have you had to make since? When did you do that? Was that Friday or Thursday or Friday?
Tuesday, I think.
Oh, right, okay, right. I thought it was after that, but okay. So
It
that's
might have been Wednesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday.
so it's so let's say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you've had about 5 days use. How many wicks have you? How many coils have you now made?
None.
So you're still with the one that you made in the VT?
Yep.
It can't have been that bad a job then.
No, it's the only thing with it is, it read out at 1.6, and it's now 2.1. I don't know what's happened, but it's changed. Unless it's moved or something in there and it's changed the resistance, it's touching a bit more. But no, it's still the same coil now. I would have, with a silica wick, I would have changed that out by now.
Right.
Like 3 days I was having to change them because they just got gumped up so quick. But yeah, the life of these, I was already told they'll last a lot longer. So yeah, it's living up to that, what I was told.
That atomizer, that rebuildable atomizer, is not a Genesis atomizer. It's not really designed to take that kind of wick, is it? But I mean, how's it working compared to was it a silica or fiberglass wick you were using before? How does it compare?
Flavour wise, I wouldn't say it's much different. It tastes a little bit cleaner, a little bit more as it should. You do get a little bit of a better flavour, but it doesn't stand out massively to me.
Right, okay.
To be honest.
Have you noticed much difference with the wicking? I mean, that's a dripping atomizer, isn't it? So
it actually, I was quite worried because when you tip it with the mesh being sat directly in the middle,
yeah,
I was worried I'd get a few dry hits from it, but I don't. Before you get a dry hit, with this, I seem to get a dip in the flavour to tell me refill. Where with the silica, you just start to get burnt hits. With this, you just get a flavour dip.
Yeah, I kind of know what you mean. I've got 2 Genesis Atties, and that's all I've put a mesh wick into so far. I got the Orion thing there and this NGP thing, and well, they both got clear tanks, so you never get to the point where it's empty. But as it starts to get right near the bottom, you do notice that the flavour deteriorates. Yeah, so I know what you mean.
Yeah, and the performance of the wicking, fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
It really is quite a revelation, isn't it?
It is. I know it's not designed for this, but I was interested to see if I could notice anything different with the mesh. And like I say, the flavour side is, it just feels tastes a little bit cleaner to me. No massive, like, wow, I can taste something different in the juice.
Yeah.
But the vapour production from it, it's way better. I get a bigger throat hit from this. So it does outdo the silica in my eyes.
So the next thing on your shopping list then is a blowtorch and a sheet of mesh, is it?
No, the next thing on my list is speak nicely to the person who sent me this for some more. I'm only joking. Yes, it will be. It will be on my list.
Trust me, like mine worked. The first one I did worked. So to use your little phrase there that you signed off with, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Then
yeah, definitely,
it's good stuff. Anyway, right. So let's have a look. Well, we've actually got 50 entries in the mailbox now. So this is looking good. It's looking good. So I can see in the header of some of the emails, I've not read any of them yet. One of them says, I think I know the answer. I like it. And oh yeah, there's some suggestions in there. Yeah, okay.
I'm even there from Mr. Dawn.
Yes, I should point out that sort of what was it they used to say on Tiz was ITV employees, in our case VTTV employees and their families need not enter. Tiz was. Do you remember Tiz was?
I remember the name, but I don't remember the program or whatever it was.
Chris Talbot. It was a Saturday morning kids show. It was brilliant. If you're from the Midlands, you grew up on that basically. But anyway, okay, we need to basically sort of move this along. I think what we're going to do is I'll give it another minute or two for the entries there. As I said at the top of the show, I have been scouring the forums looking for vape meets that are coming up to start this sort of thing. Well, I've called the little VT I've done here the vape meet roll call. So let's have a look at this. It only lasts a minute. See you in a minute. And Dougie's playing an invisible piano. Don't listen to the voices. Don't listen to the voices. Right. I am now going to take my mailbox offline. That's it. The competition is closed for entries. Okay, so what we're going to do, just so everybody out there knows, Dougie, you can't see this mailbox, can you? You've only seen what's on the screen, whether I flashed up earlier, yeah? We have 54 entries. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut to another, just a little promo, and then I'll ask you to pick a number between 1 and 54, and assuming that they've got the right answer, of course, that'll be the winner. So in order they arrived, from 1 to 54. That seems fair, doesn't it? Or shall we use random.org? Shall we use random.org?
Totally up to you.
Right. Okay. Right. While I'm digging out random.org, let's have a promo for what's that bloke's name? Marco Van Basten or something.
Something like that.
He's got a show. He's got a show apparently coming up. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Wirecast crashed because it does that kind of thing when it feels like it. I do apologise. And where were we? What were we doing? I remember I was about to show everybody this screen here, which is, hang on, all over the place now. Hang on, there we go. All over the place now. This is the inbox full of. There we go. All over the place now. This is the inbox full of. There we go. This is the competition page. We have random.org. This is the competition. Okay. We have random.org 54 competition. Okay. We have random.org 54 competition. Okay. To get that, we have to get random.org 54 to get that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to 54 to get that minimum. So what I'm going to do is now if they get the answer right. So what I'm going to do is just if they get the answer. If they get the answer right, then they win. If I open up the email and it's wrong, then we'll do it again. Sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Yes, Dave.
Dave, they're getting an echo, mate.
Who's getting an echo?
Peeps in chat.
Oh, I hear no echo.
Must have been on that other shot, mate.
Let's have a look at that then.
Yeah, it's when you had the screen up with random.
Yeah, okay. I believe that will solve the problem.
Live on air fixing. Can't beat it.
Has the echo gone now? Can you see chat, Dougie? Because I can't at the moment.
I can see chat, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. Right, I do apologise, everybody. It was all going so well as well, wasn't it, Doug?
Sorry, Dave, what?
It was all going so well, wasn't it?
It was.
And now it's all gone to crap.
It's been a while since anything's gone wrong on.
To be honest with you, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've had a total crash in Wirecast. But anyway, shall we pick a winner? Because they're all being suspenders by now, aren't they?
Bleach. Yeah, let's do it.
Number 6 is the winner, apparently. Let's have a look. That's the order they arrived. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The winner is, and just to save revealing his email address on there, I'm just going to flick back to this shot. But the winner is, it's Jansu. Jansu Finn.
Jansu Finn.
It's Jan from Finland. I like Jan. He sent me a brass strip tip. But this wasn't rigged. That was random.org. You saw me do it. And he said that MG Jones sent the mesh to Dougie. Is that right, Dougie?
It is.
I thought it was. Jan, you've won the Bosk. I shall get that out to you at some time during the next week. So I shall reply to your email and get your email address from you. And we'll go from there.
Or you can meet me in Lapland at Christmas and I will give it to you. That's in Finland.
Is it?
Yeah. Come on.
I never knew that. Are you travelling there on a sleigh or what?
I'm using my little magic elf dust sprinkle and up the chimney and gone.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, okay, I've got no clue now how many more minutes we need to make this a rounded 1 hour show. What shall we do? Shall we play the Knees trailer?
Yes.
Let's play the Knees trailer. Okay. Pay attention, Doug. Were you typing in chat? Yes, I can see it come up on that screen over there. Hey, guys, we got through. Jan won the Bosk. I'd say we quit while we're ahead. if we can still be considered to be ahead. Guys, we're going to wrap it up here before something else breaks. Say good night, Dougie.
Good night, Dougie.
Bye, everybody, and thanks for watching.
See you all later.
I can't find the credits either now.